What's up, everyone? Thanks for clicking on this video and just tuning in to just a few minutes of me babbling about how I lit this 5-person interview. And I hope and also am confident that you will probably take something away that you can apply to your cinematography or next time you're asked to do an interview in this similar style. So let's just go straight into it. If you've never seen any of my videos in the past, my name is Mika. I'm a cinematographer, about 70% cinematographer, 20% Steadicam operator, 10% try to create YouTube videos and help the next group of filmmakers out there and just pass on any knowledge that I've been able to acquire over the years through this platform. So thanks for watching. Okay, before I go into the specifics of the lights we used or the types of diffusion we had, I'll give you some context on how the job came about, just because I'm always curious on how other people get their gigs. So this gig came about through a friend who's a director at this media company, and we had this interview to film in, I think, Springfield, Missouri. I had to figure out what cameras we need, the size of crew that it's going to take to pull this off, and how much time we need per setup. We had, for the 5-person interviews, we had 2 main setups that I'll walk through and also share a little bit about the cameras we use. That was kind of the general context of the shoot and how it came about. Some of the challenges I had was figuring out how to get the camera gear from Nashville to Missouri, because there weren't as many rental houses available that had enough of camera equipment and lenses available, so we had to bring in all those things. And then the lighting equipment we were able to get with one of the local gaffers and grip people that does a lot of the broadcasts and commercial stuff out there. All right, let's go straight into the specifics of what it took to do these 5-person interviews. Cool beans. All right, so as you can see, you know, there are 5 guys in this shot, and we have some lights and some cameras and stuff happening around the room. Let's start with the key light that we have going on here. Because of the time restraints, just amount of crew we had and the equipment we had access to, you know, all these guys were coming in from out of town and had other things going on at the same time, so we had somewhat of a limited time to capture all the, you know, interviews that we wanted to get in. One of the quickest ways that I found to light a setting like this quickly is to light from above and diffuse it as much as you can. As you can see here, you know, I have a little 10 by 10 frame above them with some light that's pushing through. I think what we used was just like a quarter grid diffusion cloth that just was able to spread the light even thinner and have a soft fall off on them. And I'll try to find some of the more specific. So the lights that are coming through the diffusion cloth are 3 Geminis that are set to 5600 white balance. All of them were, I think, at 100% power. It was kind of helping light the space really nice, and we had 2 light panels, I think 1x1 light panels, that were being armed out from the sides to just create some edge light and some backlight for the 5 people that are sitting on the back of the trucks. The reason I wanted to do that is to help separate them from the background a little bit more, and to just overall create more depth in the shot. As you can see, you know, in some of these photos, it's creating a little bit of edge on all of their heads, helping further separate them from the back. Get a little bit closer. As you can see, you know, all of them kind of have a little bit of a glow going to the back of their head. And then the other thing that I did with the space was we had access to a couple of tungsten lights that I was using to kind of do a splash on the very back wall to just create further depth and distance between the subject and the background. Let me find a good photo. And there's me also Steadicam operating, which was another skill set I had to bring. There's a little bit of a tungsten source going on that's hitting and splashing the wall, and you know, we're trying to highlight some of the machinery that were behind the trucks. So as you can see from this specific photo, there's this general area back here. You can see one of these machineries kind of getting hit by one of the tungsten sources. So after the lighting comes the camera setup. You know, with a 5-person interview, I think we had to set up 4 different cameras. 1 camera was on Steadicam, 2 were on sticks, and 1 was on dolly. We shot the whole interview with Ursa Mini G2s, and we had a Pocket 6K on the Steadicam setup. So the lenses we used for the camera were the ingenue lenses. I think we had the 30 to 90 millimeter ingenue lenses, and then we had one 19 to 90 Fujinon lens, which in comparison it looked fairly similar to the ingenue glass that we had. And on my Steadicam setup, I think I just had a Sigma lens that I was pulling focus off of. Since we're trying to capture 5 people's bodies and we only have 4 cameras, we couldn't dedicate a camera to each single person. On the Dana dolly, we had a wider lens, the 30 to 90 ingenue, that was either at a 35 or 40 millimeter focal length, so that we're able to always have a wide shot of the 5 people in frame. And the reason being that we just need a safety to always cut to. So the Dana dolly kind of acted as the moving camera shot and added a little bit to that masterclass quality movement that I think the client was looking for. And then since I was kind of doing the DPing and also Steadicam operating, I was kind of doing the opening shots on the Steadicam to where we got some of the BTS of all the camera crew around the interview, just to add a cool, I don't know, opening to the whole scene. And then once I would get that shot, I would put the camera down, go back to the monitor, and just try to make sure everything is in focus. I had my guys on a headset, so if there were any instructions I wanted to give them, I could just quietly whisper to them and not have to stop the entire interview. Now this shot gives me some Yellowstone vibes. If you guys have seen that show, it's shot very well. You guys can see there's a tungsten source there that's kind of splashing some light onto the wall over there. So that was lighting and camera positioning. I'm just gonna go back to day 1, second setup of day 1. This was in an event space where they would hold wedding receptions and stuff, but once we took out all the furniture and just left the plants around, it made it look a little bit more industrial and was fitting for the client. So same idea. We had the 3 Geminis going through the diffusion cloth. A little table there that we had to fit 3 to 5 people around, and you know, same thing. We had the main camera on the dolly, the other 2 cameras were on sticks. You guys can see where the lights are positioned and everything that's going on over here. Here's just a quick photo of what the cross shooting looked like. We had easy zooms on the camera, so if a person was maybe speaking for a decent amount of time, I would have the operator just zoom in and just get a single shot of the person. Everyone's smiling, happy. One reason that I feel like I found this shoot to be successful was because we had taken some time the day before and to go scout these locations and figure out where the equipment was going to go, which direction we were going to shoot, and what the general flow of the day was. The benefit of scouting is that you go into the shoot day knowing exactly what you need to do, and you save time on trying to make decisions the day of because it's been decided. The other thing that I would say is to make sure that you don't stuff your subjects up against the wall. For these 2 main setups that we had, I was able to, you know, pull the subjects away from the wall and away from the background to kind of help with adding more depth. And when we're in this warehouse with the 2 trucks, you know, my goal was to kind of shoot towards the L of the room, the corner. You know, something I've learned from wandering DP, that shooting towards the corner is how you get the most depth in your shot. And from practicing this and putting it into use. I was very happy with the results. Client was happy, director was happy. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and educational. I'm curious how you go about lighting a 5-person interview. Comment below if you want to see more breakdowns like this, or just behind the scenes. Just subscribe and you'll see more. Thanks for taking time to watch this video. It means a ton that you took a few minutes out of your day to just listen to me talk about this lighting situation, and I hope that you come back soon. See you soon.